Governor Johnson Sakaja is staring at a possible ouster after 90 MCAs appended their signatures in support of an impeachment motion against him.
They say when the gods want to finish you, they first make you mad. And in Nairobi tonight, that cast finds a stage. Johnson Arthur Sakaja, the boy who rapped, the senator who rose, and the governor who conquered is now the man 70 MCAs once gone. Sakaja's story began in rhythm, not politics. A young rapper, a dreamer, a survivor of Nairobi's unforgiving alleys. Sakaja found his path in the corridors of Jubilee, rose into parliament, then the Senate. And in 2022, against all odds and dynasties, he seized Nairobi. Nairobi, oh Nairobi, the crown jewel of counties.
We have enough signatures. We passed the threshold. In the 5th minute of collection of signatures, we already had the minimum required 42. We want to ensure that we are not going to take the motion with 42. We are going to take the motion with 100 signatures.
Sakaja was celebrated as the golden boy of a new generation. He had the charm, the eloquence, the image, backed by Raila-Ruto, protected by Raila-Odinga in the moments of danger. Sakaja stood as the child of two political titans. But Nairobi is a lion, and lions eat their own. And this time, MCAs have faltered. And when the MCAs falter, then devolution falters. 70 members of County Assembly of the Nairobi County says there is a rot in the city. And yet, Nairobi is not just any county. It is Kenya's beating heart. It is the economic engine. It is the mirror to the world. To govern it is to carry fire in bare hands. Sakaja promised order in matatus, dignity for hawkers, efficient services, but soon the promises drowned. Garbage grew into mountains, roads dissolved into rivers when it rained, water taps ran dry, and crime flourished in the night. The dream of Sakaja began to decay, and decay in politics never hides. Now, 70 members of county assemblies have signed the papers. They accuse him of mismanagement, corruption, arrogance. They say Nairobi is dying. And when members of county assembly falter, then devolution falters.
We've had an executive that is unresponsive. When you do letters, no response is coming from the executive side. When we allocate budget for bursary, again, the same budget is not realized. When we approve budget for infrastructure, again, the roads are not done. When we allocate money for WDF or WDP, again, contractors are not being paid.
The impeachment of Sakaja is just bigger than Nairobi. Across the country, members of county assemblies are drawing impeachment swords with unusual speed. In Kericho, Governor Eric Mutai faced an impeachment attempt just 2 weeks ago. And in Kisii, Mombasa, Meru, Kirinyaga, similar storms have risen before. And one might be tempted to ask why the MCAs are faltering across the counties and devolution is faltering. The question remains, why this rush? But the answer is very simple. It is because devolution has placed billions at the feet of governors, and where money lies, conflict follows. Some impeachments are born of principle. Oh yes, corruption, service failure. Others are nothing but political chess, where members of county assemblies trade loyalty for power or even for bribes. The pattern is clear. Kenya is on edge of impeachment, and when members of county assemblies falter, then devolution falters.
The members are also saying that the governor is not in touch, completely in touch, both with the ground and with this assembly, the members of this assembly. 3/4 of the members who make calls to the governor, he does not reply or call back to these members. So there's a question of communication between the executive and the assembly, and there is also the issue of his failure to come out on the issue of the broad-based government.
Nairobi has rivals with the daggers. Not only members of county assemblies want Sakaja out, but Babu Owino, the street general, the MP of Embakasi East, he has positioned himself as Sakaja's loudest critic. He says Sakaja has abandoned the youth, drowned Nairobi in dirt, turned the city into a stage of photoshops. Their war is personal, their rivalry is electric. Two young lions fighting for the same crowd. But there is also Edwin Sifuna, the senator with the fire. Senator Edwin Sifuna has a sharper blade. He accuses Sakaja of arrogance, of ignoring oversight, and of letting billions vanish. In public rallies in Senate chambers, Sifuna is relentless. He says this governor must be held to account. And between Babu's fire and Sifuna's fury, Sakaja stands isolated. And now add the MCAs who are faltering. Nairobi County will definitely falter. And so, devolution falters. Nairobi County has a blood history. No county carries this case of impeachment like Nairobi. Evans Kidero, the first governor, he was swallowed by endless corruption allegations and he dragged through the courts. And then there was Mike Sonko, flamboyant, dramatic, but he was impeached by MCAs and confirmed by the Senate. His empire of chaos collapsed in tears. And then there was Kananu, the compromised governor who stumbled quietly through a lame dark tenor. And now Sakaja stands at the edge of the same cliff. Nairobi divorces governors. It celebrates them at dawn and crucifies them at dusk. But in Kenya, impeachment is not just the theater of members of county assemblies. The script always ends in the Senate, where the fate of governors is decided. The Senate has become both referee and executioner. It has removed governors before, confirming members of county assemblies' wrath. Yet, sometimes it has also saved governors. And this turns impeachment into a bargaining chip, a marketplace of influence. So the question is, will the Senate stand for Nairobians or for politics, for law or for loyalty? Because in the end, when MCAs falter, devolution falters, and when the Senate falters, then Kenya trembles. And here lies the real question. Can Sakaja be saved? Who will stand by him? Will President Raila-Ruto, who once lifted Sakaja's hand as a symbol of victory, protect him now? Ruto knows Nairobi is too important to lose, but he also knows that a sinking governor can stain his government's image. Will Raila Odinga, who once sheltered him during academic storms, intervene? Or has Raila already chosen to let Sakaja fall as a sacrifice to new political games? Sakaja's fate is no longer in his hands. It is in the chessboards of giants. And so Nairobi waits, Nairobi whispers, and Nairobi watches. This is more than Sakaja's trial. This is the trial of devolution itself. For if governors keep falling like dominoes, if MCAs keep sharpening impeachment as their only tool, then devolution itself is bleeding. When members of county assemblies falter, devolution falters. When governors stumble, cities collapse. And when the Senate bends, then Kenya itself breaks. And as the gods laugh tonight, the city asks, is this the fall of Johnson Sakaja or the slow death of devolution in Kenya? This is the red mic.